Hey, it's Lee and welcome back to my channel. So for today's Tuesday Trade Tips, we are going to talk about 15 prenup or e-session tips or reminders for you when you do your wedding shoot, okay? Let's begin.
Forget the day we met, your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see
Okay, so for the first one, have an inspiration. So would you like your wedding shoot to be more on a reflection of your personalities or your fantasies, or it's something that you want to try it out? So there's really no right or wrong with the inspiration that you will have. So as long as you have a clear mind of what you want, everything will follow, right? So if you want like a fairy tale theme, so like you can go to Palacio Verde. We did our Cinderella theme prenup there because we have a Cinderella wedding. Or there's one couple who likes camping, so we were in Munting Gubat, so there's a campsite there, perfect for them. All right, so feel free to think about it. If you don't have, at least if you want the normal prenup shoot with no specific theme, what you can do, at least have one casual, one formal, one that's up to you what type of dress you want. But anyway, for the inspiration that you have, that's for the clothing. But for the for the inspiration, just make sure you know your inspiration so that everything will follow after that, okay? So for the second one, it's the budget. So you have to know your budget first. So you cannot go out of town if you know you have a limited budget for it, okay? Because remember, if you go out of town and if your photo and video, your hair and makeup, your coordinators are coming from Manila or Metro Manila, there's bound to be an out of town. So be sure when you have your budget, you have to think about the food, the transportation, the parking fees, the permits also, and also you have to know you have emergency money, and you have to know whether, aside from cash on hand, maybe still bring your card, because you never know when you need or you will need the money. Because like if you're going to have an issue in mountains, sometimes like I remember when we were in Taytay Rizal, there was this part wherein we had to go to the mountains, and then it's already far from it may be far from the main road. So although there are like huts there and everything, still the money, they don't have ATM there. So better that you have cash on hand. Still have your ATM or credit card with you just in case. But then again, be sure what budget you have, and then you check if the budget fits the venue and the costumes or whatever clothes you will be having for that specific inspirational prenup that you will do. And next is location. So preferably, if location can be indoor or outdoor. All right, you have to know if the theme that you thought of could be an indoor. Like there is Studio Namu. All right, that's one of our favorite places. So we had couples wherein they wanted like there's a stories, because in Studio Namu they have like a cafe there, a set of a cafe. There's a set wherein it's a sala, or the living room is very elegant. There's also like a mini garden there, so it depends. So that's just indoor. You can do that, or you want to go outdoors. There's Pinto Art Gallery, right? There's Munting Gubat. There's Palacio Verde, the events venues. You can have your wedding there. Here we have, of course, wildlife, eco park, those stuff. So it's up to you where you want to do it. For the location, as much as possible, if you plan to have two locations, preferably near, because we had a wedding shoot we're in. One was in Wawa Dam, and then the other part was already in Antipolo, Rizal. That's very far. So, well, it's up to you, but it's really a rare case because sometimes it's really hard if you really have two separate locations. You may have additional fee, additional overtime fee for your hair and makeup, as well as photo video, and even the coordinators if you extend the shoot. All right, so as much as possible, location is not just the venue perfect for the inspiration that you have, but as much as possible it's near each other. In balancing, the reason we have different location is because it's just one island, and we have cars, or we have like there are vans roaming around the entire island, so you can easily go inside one van. They can bring us anywhere in the island. So again, so for your location, it's not just about your inspiration. It's not just that it fits your budget, but also if it's near each other. Okay. Preferably when you have a wedding shoot, we usually, like right now, I have clients where we have a style deck. So they're in the style deck, the types of makeup the bride and groom wants to have, and the type of clothes that they will be having. Sometimes the style deck can also put the shots that the couple wants, and then also you can have a Zoom meeting, or you can have a meeting face to face with your photographers, videographers, and the hair and makeup if they would allow you to be there. So usually it would be good that you talk it over, especially if you have a concept, if there's a storyboard. So better you prepare a storyboard before you go to the place. It would be well also, or it would be good if your photo video already have been to that place already where you're gonna have a shoot, so that it will save time, so that they have an idea where they're going. Like in Palm Productions, when we go to different places, they actually have been there, so they're familiar with that place, so they know even if it's a mountain, they're able to know what's the best place to go for this shoot. So we didn't have any it didn't waste any time anymore for this one. Hitting two birds in one stone, it's best that the fifth one is that use the looks for your wedding. Okay, be done in the prenup session by your hair and makeup. So at least if you want your hair tied, you would see on your wedding day, maybe you can use that for one of your looks in the prenup session, so that you would see how well they will fix it, or even the makeup that you want. So it's like a trial makeup. You're having a trial makeup, but it's maximizing the time, maximizing as well as the service, maximizing also the look for this one. So it's not just a trial look, you will actually use it for photography, and you can already immediately tell your hair and makeup if this is good, or if she needs to change, or he or she needs to change it or something. So that would be great. So preferably also, you have when you do have that, make sure also what you're wearing is at least a bathrobe, or at least something that when you remove it, the clothes that you'll be removing, it won't smush your makeup or anything. So all right, so that's another thing that you have to remember. All right, so for the sixth one, you make sure you don't cut your hair or style your hair or have anything to do with your hair or your face 3 weeks before the prenup. Because especially for the face, if the makeup artist is not liable if something happens to your face, especially if you try something else, the chemicals might mix wrongly with the makeup artist palette. So make sure you don't do anything 3 weeks prior to the prenup, so that it's so fresh, and nobody will be liable for what happens to your face. Okay, so because it might have an effect on your face if you do something else. Even your hair. Look, if you want a prenup, unless cutting your hair is part of the look that you want for your prenup, I suggest you don't cut it, so let it be styled or something. If you need added wig, then go ahead. But sometimes if you have to style your hair, just be sure. Like I had one client, like well, this is more for debutant. I believe she did something with her hair, so um this was so straight, we cannot curl it because she did something with it prior 2 days or 3 days before the pre-debut. So preferably don't do anything to your hair, let it come naturally when you do cleanup, so that um, one is the chemicals to your hair won't the chemicals won't affect your hair or your face. Okay. Another thing is logistics, meaning your props, the props that you need. If you need styling for this, to forget the food, extra money for this. If you're going to like a mountain, just make sure like in Wawa Dam, it's different from Wawa Dam and other mountains in Tagaytay. Like in Wawa Dam, there is no, well, where we are, we were able to ask the barangay if we can borrow a room, but there's no electric fan. Actually, I had to talk to one of the residents if I can borrow the electric fan for that one, because there's no aircon whatsoever. So be prepared if those kinds of stuff. You must be able to adjust also. So hopefully you do that. Not just the payment, but also how much is the permit, what are the do's and don'ts for the places. So try to do a little bit research for this one, so that when everything's done, okay, when the day comes, you're prepared for your props, your what to bring, what food to bring, and everything. Okay, so you have to be prepared for your logistics. Okay, so for the eighth one, be sure you have a place where you can have your makeup, where you can change clothes, leave your things. Okay, so example, before in wildlife, they had this sort of a room before where makeup artists are allowed to have the makeup in front of some mirrors there. But lately, as per one of my clients who had their prenup there, they just rented the cabin because they don't allow that room anymore for preps for the prenup. So just make sure you go to a place where there are sockets, there are electricity, because for the makeup. All right, so at least a room where you can change, also in a place where you can have your or at least have someone, a place where you can leave your things as well. So for usually we rent a room, like if it's in Tramuros, definitely we usually rent a room in White Knight Hotel. So the couple would have their overnight, will be sleeping there overnight, and then the makeup artist will just come around 6 a.m. in the morning, and then 8 a.m. because 8 a.m. is the start of the actual prenup, so that's saving time. So that's what they do usually. All right, so just make sure that there is a place for you to leave those things and where you can change. Okay. In connection with the location, for the ninth one, as much as possible, you should have one place, or if there are several places, make sure it's near as possible from one venue to another, as mentioned, because it will really save you time and less stress as well. At least if you're in one place, preferably the place that you would choose has different areas where you can have different pictorials, and it's based on your inspiration. But as much as possible, one place would be good. One-stop shops, as they say. Like Studio Nam is one-stop shop. Pinto Art Gallery is a big place where you can have lots of areas where you can have your pictorial. Intramuros, even though it's different, there you have Fort Santiago, you have Casa Manila, but it's still within Intramuros. It's relatively near. Okay. Balisin, you have the Bali Village, you have Mykonos, so something like that. Maximize the place as much as possible. It's not really advisable to have two places. All right, so for me, it's like less stress as much as possible. For the 10th one, please make sure you have extra money for unexpected expenditure, especially when it comes to food, or sometimes there are hidden expenses or hidden charges actually for the venue. So just be careful with that one. So have extra money on hand and on the credit card or something. All right. If it's balancing, they have credit cards, so make sure you have a credit card. All right. So for 11, be aware of the rules and regulation of the place. Check if there are permits. Alright, usually for these are events venues, you're only permitted to go to a certain part, and what area you can go to. I mean, like sometimes pool, but it's sometimes they have a time for that or something. So make sure you have permits and rules and regulations as well. There is a place where in Batangas we're supposed to pay like a environmental fee or something. So just be ready for the rules they have there. Okay, so research first before you go to the place. Ask first what are the do's and don'ts there. All right, just to be sure so that you won't get frustrated when you get there, not just financially but also emotionally, psychologically, because it could stress you out. Also have a schedule in mind, know the shots you need and the best times you can shoot it. So usually for this one, my clients and I often have prenup shoots early in the morning, because just in case we need to extend our time, then there's still the afternoon, and worst comes to worst, evening, right? So I had wedding shoots that are the whole day. We had that. However, if in your storyboard it's like I have this wedding shoot when it was Studio Namu, so since it's a one-stop shop, so some of parts there in the storyboards are already done there, like the cafe, the kitchen, those stuff, it's done there. We just need the evening shot. So what we did was take the afternoon slot for in Studio for that particular day for in Studio Namo, and then we went to one of the cities in Metro Manila where there is good lighting and everything, because that's where the couple met. So they're allowed to have the full photo video team shoot along the streets. Okay, so that's one. So they need the evening shot. That's part of it. So you have to know also the schedule. And there are also some photo and video wants to have like that the golden time or a golden hour. Usually this is in the actually almost evening, when usually 5 o'clock. Okay, so or like when we were in Balasine, they were really looking for the sunset shot, so we had to make sure we're there in Bali Island when it's already sunsets. So that's it. One way to maximize the venue is, example, when your hair and makeup, we're still having hair and makeup, the photo and video can come early with you so that they can scout the area already. If they haven't been there, it's better that they scout the area, especially for the shots that you like. Alright, so simply that's 13th one. For the 14th tip is you have to make sure you have extra clothes that you can wear after the shoot. I mean, it's good that you have fresh clothes for it. Alright, so for me, I usually wear other shorts and top after a shoot, because I mean, when you're doing assisting couples, sometimes you get tired, so you have perspirations and those stuff. So better that you have extra clothes. Same thing with the couple, of course. Aside from the prenup clothes, the clothes that they were wearing before going to the prenup, better you have something after the prenup so that you can freshen up. All right. Okay, so for the last one, don't forget to bring some survival kits. Survival kits meaning a box of example for the photo video, for the hair makeup, and for you and the coordinators. You have extra food, especially interim, the medicines, water, tissues, trash bag, just in case you might need it for the venue. Okay. Alright, so that's our Tuesday trade tips for today. So I hope you learned something regarding 15 things that you have to remember during your prenup session. So this is Lee Kundangan from Wins Events Management, and you're watching Tuesday Trade Tips.
Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. We're waiting